It's been 1 year since the Supreme Court struck down federal abortion protections. The 6-3 decision on Dobbs versus Jackson's Women's Health Organization paved the way for state-level abortion bans. And 1 year in, some say the legal fight is shifting to contraception. President Joe Biden signing an executive order to expand access on Friday.
I never ever thought I'd be signing an executive order protecting the right to contraception. But the only sure way to protect a woman's health and rights is for Congress to pass a law.
11 News reporter Jackie DeFusco has been watching this battle take shape. And Jackie, where do things stand at right now?
Hey, Janine. Well, to be clear, contraception does remain legal under federal law, but advocates argue that more needs to be done to defend access in case the Supreme Court were to reverse course down the road.
And we will abolish abortion!
1 year after the Supreme Court's decision scrapped decades of federal abortion protections, women's rights advocates say the new battle line is birth control.
They want to take away the right to birth control just as they took away the right to abortion. And people are scared and confused.
The Supreme Court protected legal access to contraception back in the 1960s. The ruling in Griswold versus Connecticut said it's a matter of privacy. Whether justices would revisit that decision came up in their pivotal abortion ruling last year.
Justice Kavanaugh and Justice Alito sought to reassure the public that there was no pending threat to contraception access. But Justice Thomas is quite unequivocal that he invites the cases.
In Congress, a proposed bill would guarantee a legal right to contraception, even if the high court reverses course.
It would be much more limiting on state legislatures and the political ability that they would have to enact incremental restrictions.
The morning after pill Plan B remains legal in all 50 states, but the Guttmacher Institute says 10 states have passed some restrictions on emergency contraception. Meantime, a new survey reveals under a third of OBGYNs offer all forms of contraception.
In states where abortion is banned, OBGYNs are less likely to provide emergency contraception.
Now, with gridlock in Congress, as you said, President Biden going ahead and signing an executive order on Friday that he says will expand access to over-the-counter contraception and improve insurance coverage. Janine?
Well, Jackie, can you tell us more about how this executive order would expand access to contraception?
Yeah, well, some have said that in some ways this order is symbolic. It essentially, in part, directs federal agencies to draft new guidance that ensures that private insurers are covering all contraceptives that are FDA approved without out-of-pocket costs for the patient. Now, in part, that is already the law under the Affordable Care Act, but the White House says that they've observed barriers and gaps in that care. One expert tells me the biggest thing she saw in this executive order is this piece about expanding access to over-the-counter contraception, specifically that emergency contraception like Plan B. Back to you, Janine.